get ready for some boring drama. Now, I'm going to be honest, when you do commentary videos like I do, there are certain days that go by pretty slow and there's just not much to talk about. Because although the internet is always alive, sometimes the world is just sleeping. However, I don't know what is awakening people recently, but the most bizarre, overblown drama has just been birthed on Twitter, where even though hundreds of thousands of people are invested, I have no idea how this is becoming a conversation, because it's just so dumb. In this video, I'll be talking about the YouTuber TommyInnit and some of the spats he's been having on Twitter against not one, not two, but 3 different people, where in my opinion, only one of them has said anything substantial against Tommy. Now, I will admit, I did used to think that he had a golden boy air to him, like being really good. Not because I was a fan of him, but mostly because, he just seemed like an isolated creator that didn't really get into controversial stuff. But in these recent spouts, my god, not only is that clearly the opposite, but I'm seeing signs of a potential runner-up of a downfall with how much of a pedestal he's putting himself on. Right, so to make a quick timeline of how this started, it actually makes no sense. From what I can tell, it started with like a podcast or a clip between Jack Manifold and TommyInnit, where he asked him a question of who do you find the most annoying, and TommyInnit responded with Miskiff. And there's nothing wrong with that. I never watched Miskiff, so I can't support that claim. But the reason he gives, that the reason itself is really dumb, where he talked with him at like VidCon or wherever, and he just wrote him off the wrong way, and that was enough for Tommy to call him the most annoying person in the world.
Oh, for me, it's so easy.
Go on.
Miskiff. Pissed me off, the twat. Anyway, I had to stand next to him for a bit, and I've never just genuinely hated every word and movement someone did. I also was very tired and wanted to see my friends. I didn't get to see my friends. I got to see Miskiff, socially inept Miskiff. He wouldn't leave me alone when I clearly was giving off all the signals for him to piss off. And I kept sort of going, and standing this way. And then he'd stand there and go, eh.
I'm sorry, but this video seems like really Reddit, being like, oh my god, this guy pissed me off. Okay, well, did you, tell him to leave you alone? No, I just stood there and took it. Then, be a man, you have a spine, for love of God. Also, by the way, the motive of a spine is going to be brought up a lot in this video, making that well known. Either way, that clip started making the rounds, and SUC call wouldn't fit, and yeah, it gives a pretty reasonable take that it's just cringy. And I agree, drama between 2 people that just came, like him calling Miskiff the most annoying person for a simple conversation. Yeah, that's pretty cringy.
I don't mind like not getting like a Miz's like person in real life, whatever, right? And he can brush people the wrong way or whatever, right? But like, what an overreaction! What an overreaction to like people who like British people who are used to bantering. Like these people are so used to just crying on camera and fucking being the victim of some ghost taunting them that like some guy like fires out a joke at them and they run to the internet like somebody fucking killed their family. Like, holy shit, relax, brother.
But when he said that, it started picking up traction, around the big posts of Twitter, like Deserto, the most fucking, virtuous Twitter account ever on the platform. And then Tommy saw that, and so he wanted to like start drama between Miskiff and now also SUC, because then he retweeted that, being like, oh, it says right here, to be more cringe than TommyInnit is pretty fucking hard, but you pull it off, pal. And then he just put a picture of him shaking hands with Donald Trump. Like, that really says much. I mean, he made the point that, he's pretty cringy because he's with Donald Trump or he supports him. And I'm gonna be honest, if I was in his shoes, in SUC's shoes, yeah, I would do that as well. Of course, yeah, Donald Trump, bad guy, of course. But if I can shake hands with the president of the USA, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. I wouldn't commend him, as a president, vouching for his policies and how good of a job he does. But yeah, I would be right there in the White House and take a picture, 100%. Oh, and by the way, even though that tweet was pretty childish, nearly 200,000 likes. Yeah, so to say that Tommy doesn't have the majority of people backing him up, that would just be a lie outright. And so then SUC responded to that with a pretty good take, Like normally, I feel like the force, like, the rich and poor joke, like, how he's much richer and everyone else is poorer, ergo, he's right. But this time, like, he made a pretty good, like, retweet, making a good point as well. From doing my streams in my basement to doing a stream with the president, how's that this? You went from dick riding Dream for a living to making jokes to teenage girls. Lock in. That's good. That's a pretty good point. Like most of the time he spouts nonsense and dribble, but this one time, some valid, a valid argument. Fair enough. I respect that. And so then Tommy pulled out the nonchalant, self-deprecating chat card by being like, "No, yeah, you're right. Actually, man, you're really cool. Like, I want to be honest. If you saw an argument, at least see it through. Like, don't quit like right out the gate. Have some backbone. Like, he was doing the same shit with Miskiv, because when Miskiv saw that clip, he was like, oh well, you being a twat as well, being annoying in that conversation, and instead of like him backing up his own experience of how Miskiv was worse, he just said he was really hard to talk to. Like, he would just make an asshole of someone, and then when they fire back, he just tries to act cool. Like, no, please, carry on. Like, don't quit an argument, make it seem like you won. Just keep on going. But anyways, one big event I had to dodge over for the sake of narrative of a simpler video was the event of Dream dropping his own take, his own meme actually, which basically on some level he was calling Tommy's fans retards. And big take, I actually agree, and I sort of want to back him up because that's a good take. Initially, people called him a hypocrite because the Venn diagram overlaps of their fan bases was pretty big. Like, odds are, back then at least, in 2021, if you're watching TommyInnit, you're probably also watching Dream. And so by him making this meme, saying growing up or becoming retarded, a retarded TommyInnit fan, he's also calling his own fallen fans retarded. And so I was asking myself, is calling them retarded a bit too far? But then I realized Tommy's tweets of just poor arguments and, not that good takes, they get nearly 200,000 likes. So yeah, the fact that he gets such a huge following for dumb opinions, yeah, and they just agree with him with everything he says, yeah, they sort of they have a bit of the brain missing, in my opinion. Like, the beef he was having with Miskiv was bullshit. He just he called him annoying because of a bad conversation, and he called SQC cringe because he didn't like him that much. But he may seem like a cringy piece of shit that is friends with Donald Trump, a fascist. And yeah, doesn't really go far. It's not a good critique. But then yeah, he screenshotted Dream's tweet, the pretty bad tweet, or it was bad in the eyes of the Minecraft community. And he just said, "No fucking way did I make Dream say the R slur again, actual bastard." I'm sorry, are we giving the word retard the same treatment as the N word, where it's so bad you have to call it the R word? No, it's not that bad, I promise you. But the word retard is funny. It's objectively funny. And then somehow, some fucking way, Dream got banned off his own subreddit, r/Dream was taken too, and he dropped a response to all the backlash he was getting. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to dick ride Dream, but he cooked in this explanation, to defend himself, go against the community and Tommy, because this was a pretty good comment. Generally still confused on what the rules are. Honestly, not trying to be obtuse, but multiple people go viral calling me the retard word, and everyone explains that it's okay because they're neurodivergent. So then I see a meme that uses it and post it and get absolutely throttled for it. Obviously, it's the internet being disingenuous, but it doesn't completely invalidate anyone that might be upset by it. Most of the people calling me ableist for using it are the same people that did off fireworks when Nicholas Cantu was the slur-slinging slasher, including Tommy's closest friends. That's a really good point. I'll bring it up later because it's a completely valid argument. It's either okay or it's not okay. The double standards are infuriating. I have my own reasons for having a problem with Tommy going around with the internet police. I was expecting to get a lot of shit for going after poor Tommy that lies about me constantly. But obviously, I had no intentions of attacking every Dream SMP fan or being ableist, Lamau. It was a dig really get Tommy's fans because somehow the worst of the extreme SMP stands have congregated all to make up lies and shit on other creators, and Tommy feeds right into it to promote his Patreon, shows, book, or whatever else he's currently promoting because he has absolutely no backbone. Either way, my lesson from this is that Twitter is somehow even less reasonable than I saw it in the first place. Oh, and don't use the retard word under any circumstance, even if you see a funny meme and you're autistic. Lesson learned. Hopefully I can be forgiven. Batch coding. And also, again, like I said before, that tweet that he made of the meme was taken down, and the poor bastard got DDoSed in a recent stream. So that's how much shit he was getting from the Minecraft community, you know, fucking lashing him non-stop. I remember making a tweet about this yesterday in my own YouTube Twitter. Go check it out. It's so good. And like I said, you know, people call it cringy, you know, they call it hypocritical, you know, for him saying the R word, the retard word, whatever. But I have to respect that. Because people like him, like Minecraft YouTubers, at some point in the future, they will have to face the music. Because when you make yourself seem like a really good boy, like, you know, like they can do no wrong, it will eventually, surprise, surprise, backfire. And you do have to face the music. So you got shit for it, but at least now, he doesn't have like the toxic community, you know, that Tommy has, which would eventually, you know, bite him in the ass and, you know, fucking turn against him and just tear him down. And also, he brought up a really good point with that Nicholas Cantor video, because, for reference, you know, for a quick summary, that guy, the voice actor of Gumball, he was saying stuff like retard, faggot, some really bad shit. The kind of shit, like, you know, the Minecraft community would cancel him for, but they didn't, because around that time, he was saying that against Dream, and people just hated him. So all the stuff he said was all of a sudden valid and based, you know, it's like complete double standards. And also, I hate repeating this quote, but it's so good, from Vosh, where people don't go against bad behavior, they go against bad targets that they don't like. And to be entirely honest, I find Tommy way more annoying, because I remember now as well, he was starting drama with not only Mischief and SQC, but also like before, a while back, with Logan Paul, KSI, you know, and Mr. Beast for the Lunchly stuff, where he made his own parody, Vapely. So even though he has like this golden boy, you know, persona, yeah, he definitely dabbles into drama, you know, and he calls out the people for being cringy. Even though I swear to God, in 1 week from now, he'll say like, guys, I think drama's pretty cringy and gay. He won't say gay because, you know, that's way too controversial, but he'll say something along those lines, I swear to God. Oh, and also, he made like his own videos on his channel, you know, being like a drama alert, not drama alert, but, you know, like commentary stuff, you know, very short, you know, very quick shots of the people, and they weren't unfunny, like, you know, there was some humor, a tiny bit in them, but it felt like a rip of like Norm Macdonald, where like it was an anti-joke with a punchline is very underwhelming. But even though I like Norm Macdonald, these videos not that good, if I have to be honest. Now, to run back to what I said before about him having a downfall, because I think the most common symptom on how someone would have their fan base turn against them is when they slightly go off balance on the pedestal and they say one thing that the soft fan base don't really like. And I'm sorry, but when you build this sharp palisade fence around yourself and say that everyone outside it is ableist and cringe, it just sets like the standard so high that you yourself will slip, and, you know, your own fans will criticize you. It was the same thing with Dream. I can't really pinpoint or remember, you know, what led to his downfall with his fan base, but it's absolutely the same condition where fans just want to turn on their own favorite people because they're just that toxic, the fans I mean. Whether it be a fake grooming allegation or he says something not so good, there will be a spark, mark my words, that makes his fans turn against him. And the only thing he can do now is slowly condition his own fans to not see him as an apostle that can do nothing wrong. So I don't normally like being vindictive, but I will say now, if there comes a controversy against TommyInnit, I will not feel bad for him, because it has never been a good investment to make yourself seem like the only good guy on YouTube. So when that image starts to get a bit tarnished to a tiny bit, I can't say I'll be a bit shocked, sadly.